Now at noon, flood victims working to get some help from the federal government. We're breaking down the lengthy process and what applicants can expect from FEMA.
And we are back to bright today. It's a little humid. That will change a little bit. We're in the low 80s today, but we've got to talk about the 90s that are ahead in the forecast.
Okay, Sean, and city councilors discussing a budget plan from the Office of Public Health and Safety. We'll tell you what the agency's planning to do with a nearly $30 million budget next year. We start here with cleanup and recovery efforts underway across the state after that historic flooding just over 2 weeks ago. Homes, as you know, severely damaged, leaving so many people without a place to lay their head. And many flood victims are still paying the price of putting their lives back together. Federal disaster assistance is now available for eligible Hoosiers in 21 counties, but getting that help will not happen overnight. It's going to take patience. Thanks for joining us here at noon today. I'm Dustin Grove. The application process for FEMA assistance is a lengthy one. One woman in the Ravenswood neighborhood of Indianapolis tells us the application took her 75 minutes to complete. And the process doesn't stop there. You'll have to keep submitting documents. Sandra Fulks says her home is down to 2x4s and insulation, as you see right there. And that damage is not covered by her homeowner's insurance. So she's relying on federal help. Sandra says she now has to wait for her application to get approved. As soon as those applications went live, people from 21 counties across Indiana started applying. Now, before you apply, make sure you have your contact information, your address of the damaged home. Make sure you've got your social security number. We've got all the items here on your screen so you can take a look. A general list of your damage and losses, write that down. Include your annual household income and your banking information if you're going to want direct deposit. You'll also want your insurance information. Delaware County is one of the locations now approved for that federal aid. The mayor of Muncie says they're looking at $8 million in infrastructure challenges and losses. He says the added funding will make a big difference.
We know a lot of people are hurting. Our hearts and prayers are going out to them and their families. And we've talked to many of them. And I guess there have been over 800 different notifications on either 211 or on the EMA site.
So many people in need of help. The mayor also gave shout outs to the people and companies stepping up to help in the immediate aftermath of that flooding. He says they were able to help nearly 1,900 people during a giveaway earlier this week. And to help more people in need, FEMA is heading to Delaware County, deploying a mobile registration intake center. This is to help flood victims register for the federal disaster assistance programs from FEMA. It'll be at 4501 East Memorial Drive in Muncie from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Friday, so all day long on Friday, and then all day on Saturday as well, 10 to 6 on Saturday. All right, turning now to the latest in our forecast. Meteorologist Sean Ash is here, and we'll get to the forecast in a second, but you're pulling double duty. We've got a traffic issue on the west side.
Southwest side out by the airport here. So let's get right into the maps. It's going to be 465 northbound at that ramp to get you to 70 west. Last check, that was closed. Now traffic is moving, and I'll show you the camera here. I think what you're seeing, that is 465 southbound traffic that's getting onto 70. They've had to work on this semi. They had a bunch of IFD apparatus earlier. We think there might have been a little bit of a fuel leak. No injuries reported with this. Once you can get through that, smooth sailing, but just a heads up there on that southwest side. Trying to navigate around that, you can take Kentucky Avenue to Reagan Parkway, get you onto 70. If you're trying to go northbound, that will be fine. Another alternate route you could take is Lyndhurst to Washington. So watching that for you, watching the weather, obviously, sunshine, few pop-up clouds here. 79, dew points are in the mid-60s. It is a humid heat for us. It will get a little bit better later today, probably near sunset, more noticeable tomorrow morning. 8:23 on that sunset here this evening. And these dew points on the humid side right now. We've seen a few clouds flaring up, and there's a slimmest of chance of a pop-up shower. We've seen a couple flare up. The odds are about 10%. Most of us are going to be dry for several days. We've got to talk about the heat. And we now have Tropical Storm Dolly More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Tropical Storm Dolly. No kidding. All right. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
This afternoon, police have a 24-year-old mother in custody accused of abandoning a baby on the southeast side of Indianapolis. You may remember this story. We've been following it all week. Police found the baby Monday night behind a strip mall near Emerson and Arlington. The baby thankfully was not hurt. Now that mother is facing a preliminary charge of neglect. A man has been found guilty on all counts in connection with a deadly Christmas Day shooting back in 2024. Dawson Garzon has been found guilty of 1 count of murder, 4 counts of battery by means of a deadly weapon, and 4 counts of aggravated battery. That shooting happened on Meadowlark Drive. Police found 37-year-old Ana Paredes shot outside of a home there. She went to the hospital where she died. Police say the shooting stemmed from a disturbance between family and friends. Garzon's sentencing is set for October the 8th. A man has pled guilty, or planning to plead guilty to murdering his wife in front of their 4 children. Cecil Maines is charged with killing his wife in late December. In October, he'll be sentenced to 45 years in prison. As part of the sentence, Maines will not be allowed to speak to his children. Court documents say his wife, Jerry, had filed a protection order on Christmas Day, accusing him of threatening to kill her. 3 days later, police found the woman dead at the family's home on Indy's South Side. Indy's Office of Public Health and Safety is laying out its nearly $30 million budget proposal for next year. So what does that mean? Well, Alex Almanza looked into it. He explains why counselors are questioning a decision to not continue the same funding for a reentry program that they say is working.
The office laid out a nearly $30 million budget for next year in front of the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee. That money touches everything from homelessness and behavioral health to re-entry and violence reduction. And counselors say they want to know which programs are actually delivering results.
Again, if they're using money on programs that aren't effective, we need to cut those programs, cut that funding to support programs that are effective.
One program that became part of that debate, Hope Hustlers. It helps people with expungements and getting their driver's licenses reinstated. The program was originally funded with federal pandemic relief money, but for 2026, OPHS used money left over from the previous year to help fund that work. But that same $400,000 isn't built into the 2027 budget.
Because it had never been included in our budget as a line item, and we did not receive any increases in funding, we were not able to add that to our 2027 budget.
OPHS Director Andrew Merkley told counselors Hope Hustlers has provided data showing its effectiveness. He says the city could still look for other ways to keep the work funded, but Counselor Krista Lee Wells says the concern goes beyond one line item. She says people returning from incarceration are already losing other supports.
We're talking about people who were able to come home after serving their time. And we are continuing to put barriers in front of them.
OPHS acknowledged significant underspending in previous years, but says some of the programs behind that underspending are now serving more people. Now, OPHS's budget will continue to get reviewed until a final adoption in October. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Thank you. New at noon, the 500 Festival and Lucas Oil are partnering in a 5-year agreement. Just learned about this. The 500 Festival says Lucas Oil plays a really important role in helping them celebrate multiple milestones. That includes the 100th running of the Indy 500, the 500 Festival Parade, and the 500 Festival Memorial Day service. The pair says they are excited to create more traditions for Hoosiers over the years. Speedway is expressing some environmental concerns following this latest Indy 500. In fact, for the 5th year in a row, town leaders say they have violated the terms from the Indiana Department of Environmental Management for too much ammonia flowing into Big Eagle Creek right after the race. Town manager Grant Kleinhent says the track is in no way at fault. Now the town is working on a massive tank to store water, which could help this issue. Hundreds